Hey, what's up guys, Tony here, and here's some Medal of Honor footage, and this is going to be a first impressions video, and I feel kind of silly doing a first impressions video, especially since it wasn't too long ago that I did my final thoughts on the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta. But you know, now that the game is out, after spending 2.5 hours or so playing this game, I think it's about time that I sit down and just kind of do a first impressions video. And give you guys what I think about Warfighter now that it's fully released. Now, this might come off quite negative because to be honest, I don't have much good to say about the game right now. I'm struggling to find the positives in my $60 purchase. It's just the reality of the matter, and I think that I would be doing you guys who are watching my videos a disservice if I just completely tell you guys how much I absolutely love Medal of Honor Warfighter and just crank out some bullshit because I feel that I'm obligated to put out videos for the next 2 months of Medal of Honor Warfighter, when in fact I don't like the game. And it's like, you know what, it's like Modern Warfare 3. I played that game enough, I didn't like it, and I stopped playing it, and I stopped posting it. I traded the damn thing in to help buy Battlefield 3. I don't know. I just don't, anyway, so basically my point is that when I present things to you, these are obviously my opinions, but I feel honesty is always the best policy. And if you may or may not agree with what I have to say about this game, you might absolutely love this game because it might fill a niche that you don't have filled. It sounds really dirty, but the reality of the situation is, the way I see it is that this game is a tier 2 game. The tier 1 games, Battlefield, Call of Duty, those games, they have a niche. The Twitch shooter for Call of Duty, the more tactical shooter, the more immersive, I think, gameplay is probably a better way to put it for Battlefield. But they have their solid fan base that's been growing for a long time. But I think Medal of Honor exists in this weird little area where people who want to have the Twitch shooter can have the Twitch shooter. They can kind of have a tactical Battlefield-like gameplay without the really steep learning curve of learning how to fly jets or handling vehicles, or coordinating with teams, because you can kind of Rambo this thing up if you want. I know in my beta impressions I was telling you can't really go and Rambo up, but I mean, if you go and you lock down a corner or something, you can pretty much be on your own until you run out of ammo. That's really the only thing that stops you from being a lone wolf in this game. But you know what? My main concerns right now are just primarily this, is that, and I noticed this in the beta, and we all talked about it in the beta, how you die really fast. And we all talked about character speeds, and then we spent a lot of time speculating on what are they going to change. And to be honest, this game plays exactly like the beta. It looks like the beta. I didn't notice a single damn difference from the HD texture package that you downloaded and installed. It looks the same. And at some points, to be honest, to be quite frank, it looks cartoony, like this holographic site that I have on here. It looks really cartoony. And during the GameSpeak podcast, In the Works Media had brought up the fact that he feels as if this shooter is several years behind the curve when it comes to shooters. And I can really, now that I've really got my hand, because during the podcast I hadn't actually played the game. I played it all 4 minutes. I played one match, and that was it. And now that I've played this game for 2.5 hours, I can kind of see what's going on. And I know it's like, well, you've only played it for 2.5 hours, Tony. Why don't you give it a chance? And I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it its fair shot. But my initial impressions of this game, I just don't like it. It just doesn't jive with me and what I look for in a shooter, because it's just this weird, mix, There are the things, I've come to like, and this is now that the full game is out. Now you can differentiate between who's a good guy and who's a bad guy, because obviously my team, we're wearing brown, tan colors, and the enemy team's wearing green. So from the issues that I had in the beta to now the game has been released, now I can differentiate between good guys and bad guys when it comes to everyone using the same nations. The one thing that it's really bothered me right now, and I consider to be kind of this the gold standard of shooters. Not the gold standard, of like a #1 rule of shooters is that there's always been a direct correlation between character movement speed and damage output. Games that have high damage output always have high character movement speeds, so that way you can try to get out of these situations. You know, obviously I'm talking about Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a game where you kill really quickly. You know what, I should take that back. Infinity Ward versions of Call of Duty are games where you kill really quickly, but your character, almost every class, minus say like if you got a light machine gun, you move slightly slower. But all the other classes, especially if you've got like Sprint on or Lightweight Pro, you run really fast and you move around the map really fast. But then you take a game like, say, Black Ops. It's a game where you put out less damage, you move slower, but it's balanced that way. Battlefield is another game where you don't move very fast, but you don't put out a lot of damage by comparison to, say, like a Modern Warfare. So it's balanced that way. This game, in my opinion, is imbalanced in that regard because you put out a lot of damage, but you move so slow through the maps. And these maps aren't small maps. I mean, these are kind of large maps. You know, they, as far as like a Call of Duty, like it is very big for a game like Call of Duty. And your movement speed is just atrocious. So my main complaint is right now is that the movement speed with the damage output is not balanced. You move too slow for the amount of damage that you put out. And I was actually just talking with Lizzie last night. I'm so tired of these, like, well, this is what they should do from here on out. This is what should happen in the patch. You know, I'm getting kind of tired of that talk just because of the fact that nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. The developer's going to do what they want to do. So we really need to sit down and instead of being like, well, I hope they change this, they better change this, they better change this, and then when it doesn't happen, we get disappointed. We just need to sit down and get used to the game and then try to change our gameplay, our game style to the game and not have the game change to what we like. It's kind of to be honest, when I think about it, it's sort of an arrogant thing that we're doing, that we're going to insist that the game developers change to match our needs instead of us change to them. There are fewer of them and more of us. So the logical sense is for us to change for the game and get used to the game. So that's the one big complaint I have, and that might be, I don't want to say it's a killing thing of the game. I'm going to do a far more comprehensive video on Medal of Honor, but there are a lot of things, this being one of them, that I see are going to just be the killing shot for this game. I guarantee you this game is not going to last past November. That's just, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just sort of my personal feelings about the game right now, like these initial thoughts. So sorry for such a negative and down commentary, but I just have not been having a great time playing this game yet. And maybe if I play it a couple more hours, maybe I'll get the hang of it. Maybe, you know, things will change because different, you know, players are getting used to the game. So we'll see. But initially right now, the first 2.5 hours, I'm just not really enjoying it. But like I said, I'm going to give it a shot. You know, I invested my $60 in it, and I want it to be a good game. I really do. But right now, it is a disappointment. It is an utter disappointment upon release. So if you're on the fence about buying it, I might not buy it. I might just go rent it and play the campaign. Like, I want to play the campaign so far. I haven't done it yet, so I want to get around to playing it. But if you haven't bought it yet, maybe go rent it, play the campaign, and jump on multiplayer, and, you know, save yourself $60 and maybe say, oh, hey, look, for $5 or whatever it costs to rent a game, maybe you find out that you like it, and then you'll go purchase it. So anyways, guys, I'm running over right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.